a chance, why be afraid of it?
Let's close our eyes and make our own paradise. Little we know of it, still we can try to make a go of it. We might have been meant for each other,
To be or not to be, let our hearts discover.
let's fall in love. Why shouldn't we fall in love? Now is the time for it.
While we're still young, let's fall in
That is a duet with the most fabulously talented Kathryn Radcliffe. You are watching The Musician Speaks, and I'm Jade Leonard, your host for the show. Kathryn's going to be journeying with us for this whole half hour, and you're going to hear some superb things from her. I'm going to get out of the way very, very quickly. Kathryn's going to sing us a wonderful Bernstein song, Glitter and Be Gay. But I won't be at the helm this time. I'd like to welcome Sue Gessling to the piano. Please make her welcome, and I'll leave you with Katie.
Glitter and be gay, that's the part I play. Here I am in Paris, France, forced to bend my soul to a sordid role, victimized by bitter circumstance. Alas for me, had I remained beside my lady mother, my virtue had remained unstained until my maiden hand was gained by some grand duke or other. 'Twas not to be. Harsh necessity brought me to this gilded cage. Born to higher things, here I droop my wings, singing over sorrow. Nothing can assuage, and yet, of course, I rather like to revel. I have no strong objection to champagne. My wardrobe is expensive as the devil. Perhaps it is ignoble to complain. Enough of being basely tearful. I'll show my noble stuff by being bright and cheerful. Pearls and ruby rings. Oh, how can worldly things take the place of honor lost? they compensate for my fallen state, purchased as they were at such an awful cost? Bracelets, lavaliers, can they dry my tears? Can they blind my eyes to shame? Can the brightest brooch shield me from reproach? The purest diamond purify my name? And yet, of course, these trinkets are endearing. I'm also glad myself there is a star. Rather like a 20-carat earring. If I'm not pure, at least my jewels are. Enough, enough. I'll take their diamond necklace and shaman of the stars by being gay and reckless. Observe how bravely I conceal the dreadful, dreadful shame I feel.
You're watching The Musician Speaks, and I am here, of course, with the fabulously, ridiculously, illegally talented Kathryn Radcliffe. Please, again, welcome her. I mean, incredible. I don't know where she came from. We're going to find that out in a minute. As far as I'm concerned, you just kind of burst forth onto the operatic scene. And within the last couple of months, you've won the Herald Sun Aria, and also, yes, and also the 3MBS Young Performer of the Year Award. Incredible. There's two of the most acclaimed awards for young classical artists to achieve, and to have them back-to-back in 1 year, I mean, kudos to you. So welcome to The Musician Speaks. I'm going to grill you now. You ready?
Oh, yeah, go for it.
Now,
Yes.
it's very remiss of me. I haven't even offered you a drink. Could I give you a Pimm's with our garden setting?
I would adore that. Thank you
very
very
lovely.
much, Jade.
So this is a bit of a summer drink. Have a lime or 5.
Oh, I
There you
will.
are.
Oh, yes. Just a little lime.
What I want to know is this. Isn't opera a dying art form? And how is it relevant to us these days?
It's interesting that you say that, actually. People have been saying that opera is a dying art form since Mozart passed away. The reality is that opera doesn't get the publicity that it deserves. It's like champagne and caviar and the ballet in many respects. All the best things in life have been stolen from us by those with buckets of cash. And people now believe that opera is elitist. You know, I have people say to me, oh, I'd love to come to the opera, but I won't understand anything. They have surtitles and subtitles. And the fact that, you know, I just think plastered on the side of a tram going up Swanston Street, this opera has surtitles, would make such a difference. It is accessible, it is modern, it is up to date, and so many of the characters that I sing are the same as you'd find down at Flinders Street Station. I mean,
Tell us about them.
it is
Who
so,
are you?
well, things like, particularly actually for my voice type, which is very high and very loud, I play a lot of crazy people. I play a lot of crazy people, queens and psychopaths. Occasionally, somebody will write a upstanding noblewoman for my voice type, and that's usually Mozart. He was quite a feminist in that way. But I deal with a lot of stresses and strains of being a female character in a society that is based in a patriarchy. And it's really interesting to be able to play with those. You know, they say opera is like science fiction in that the further you take the camera lens back from your subject matter, the closer you can zoom into these little minutiae of why human beings are the way they are and what that makes them tick and what makes them interesting.
So I want to totally get like all singing geek on you right now.
Oh, yeah, go for it. Yeah.
And ask you, how do you sing so loudly? Because when you sing in an opera, you're in a concert hall and you're singing over the top of an orchestra and you sing with zero amplification.
I think specifically in terms of what you're asking, the power output, singing is something that involves the whole body. And when I was a little baby singer, and I sang like this all the time, actually I spoke a bit like that too, but I used this much of me, just this bit. And really the larynx is about, I don't know, this big, and it's this little bubbly thing that jiggles around in your throat. And it's so small and it is not very loud. But if you can pump enough air through the thing, if you can support it properly using big muscles, these are huge muscles all through the pelvic floor and the belly wall. So singers really have to learn from the ground up. They have to learn that their whole body is a part of the instrument. And when this is correctly supported, it gets a lot louder than me, let me tell you. Some of these Wagnerian sopranos, you hear the Brunhilde, you would know, with the horns and the breastplate. Yes, some of those singers, oh my gosh, they can break your eardrums from 30 paces. It's extraordinary the output that they can get.
I love that. I hope every singer and singing student is listening right now. Particularly my singing students. I hope you're listening right now.
Yes.
It's great. I'll get you in for a masterclass.
Lippy all over my glass for you, Jade.
Oh.
I never know whether to turn it around, but then I get lipstick on my nose and I look like a very awkward panda.
Leave it there because we can auction that on eBay later.
Oh, good. Yes. Real cheap lippy on this glass. Yeah.
I wanted to know if, you know, pursuing a particular vocal style, one way or the other, whether you pursue contemporary or jazz or whatnot, or whether you pursue something more classically, operatically inclined, does it ruin you for the other style?
That's a really, really interesting question because there are people out there who can do both. And they do that particularly from, actually, interestingly, jazz to opera is not that far a leap. It's to do with the vocal technique and the tilt of the larynx, that going from straight to tilt is actually really jarring and quite tiring. But if you're tilted for both, that's better.
Because Katie Noonan would be a wonderful example of someone who has incredible ability to cross between styles. Yeah. But I think she's still probably a contemporary singer. But her voice isn't as big as yours. It isn't like yours. Is that because she's sat more in the contemporary side of things?
Probably not. I think it's, I mean, voice types and colours and sounds and different amounts of power are a bit like the way people look. You know, everybody has a face, but we all look slightly different, and it's a bit, you're kind of born with something you can work on. But it's really hard, and I would say the reason that there aren't more people who do a bit of everything is because it is so difficult to really reach the pinnacle. And for most people, if you're going to do this career, you're going to shoot for the moon, because it's such a hard, it is a hard life to lead, and it's a hard thing to do, and it's hard on your loved ones as well. It's hard to bring people along with you to that sort of commitment.
I'd love to ask you if you might take us on a bit of a journey through some of the music that's inspired you.
I would love to. I think I'll sing for you the first song that I ever sang. Oh gosh, I would have been, what, 15 perhaps, 14 maybe, in a school assembly, and I knew that I could sing, but I didn't really think that I would be much of a singer. But I went up to the head of music in the middle school and I said, I'll sing a song at assembly. And he goes, all right. And I sang Part of Your World from The Little Mermaid. It'll sound very different now, I think. This enormous voice. But yeah, so I'll perform that for you.
I would love to hear it, and I know that our audience and everybody watching at home would love to hear it as well, wouldn't you just?
Look at this stuff, isn't it neat? Wouldn't you think my collection's complete? Wouldn't you think I'm the girl who has everything? Look at this trove, treasures untold. How many wonders can one cavern hold? Looking around here you'd think, sure she's got everything. I've got gadgets and gizmos aplenty. I've got who's its and what's its galore. You want thingamabobs? I've got 20. But who cares? No big deal. I want more. I want to be where the people are. I want to see 'em dancing, walking around on those, what's that word again? Feet. Flipping your fins, you don't get too far. Legs are required for jumping, dancing, strolling along down the, what's that word again? Street. Up where they walk, up where they run, up where they stay all day in the sun, wandering free. Wish I could be part of that world. What would I give if I could live out of these waters? What would I pay to spend a day warm on the sand? Betcha on land they understand, bet they don't reprimand their daughters. Bright young women, sick of swimming, ready to stand. I'm ready to know what the people know. Ask 'em my questions and get some answers. What's a fire and why does it, what's the word, burn? When's it my turn? What did I love to explore that shore above, out of the sea. Wish I could be part of that world.
Incredible. Oh my. Oh my. What a voice. Wow. So if that hasn't converted you to opera, I don't know what will, frankly. She's got the best vocal cords I've heard ever in my life, and that's just that, you know, from one little person in a orange mesh dress. Now, you've been watching The Musician Speaks. I'm still Jade Leonard. And, of course, if you want to find out what we're doing in the future, do find themusicianspeaks.com. Of course, we're on Facebook and Twitter and all of the other wonderful intergalactic lands out there. So please do stalk us. To finish up, Kathryn has obliged me, and I'll be fulfilling a small dream to be a mezzo-soprano diva for at least the next 4 minutes anyway. We're going to be singing the flower duet from Luck May. Oh, I know. Okay, I'm ready if you are.
Yeah, I'm ready.